Assalamu alaikum. Suleiman Raheem here. Welcome. Let's slay some demons. Sisters and brothers, we are at critical times. Anyone who has eyes can see it, his ears can hear it. America is in deep trouble. The troubles are increasing daily. You have a senile old man at the helm. Anyone with a fifth grade education can predict how this is going to turn out. That's where we are. So I want to talk about a little bit of that today, because that's what we're talking about. We talk about current events. We have all distractors out there, wanting to be Suleiman, wanting to be the Christ, wanting to be the Mahdi, wanting to be the God, wanting to be anointed. And what are they talking about? Nothing. Because they know nothing. They only talk after the fact. Why would you turn the weather on to find out that's already raining? You want to know what's the forecast, not the aftercast. Like Mr. Farrakhan. He has nothing to say about the virus until 7 months after. But he's supposed to be telling us he's talking with God. God says plagues come from him. He's claiming he's talking to him, he's guided by him, but he knows nothing about it. Even 2 months in his so-called Savior's Day. 2 months in February, he's talking about Kobe. He got scared of Kobe's ass. No mention of it whatsoever. Takes him away to July, finally speaks on it. And he's wearing a mask. Because he has no idea. So anyone want to follow those people at this point in time, then they deserve what they get. So let's go into the presentation. We're going to talk about a couple of things, and then we'll get the main topic is going to be first of all, the main topic is going to be about the wicked servant. See? And the other topic is going to be about that last plague, the last plague that will drive us out. Those are the primary topics. So let's move along. Now, I've been talking about this wheel within a wheel. Elijah Muhammad taught us that we're a nation within a nation. You have to understand what that means. Because it's not one nation here. If I tell you all Americans, no, it's not one nation here. No more than if you put cats and dogs together, right? You got two different natures. Unless you suppress one of the natures of one of the groups, right? They're not get along. So you have to suppress one of the natures of one of the groups, one of those groups, cats and dogs, for them to get along. But they're not going to get along because they got different natures. And regardless of what they're trying to tell you, we're different people. No, we're not the same. Even Exodus says, God will make a distinction between you and the Egyptians. Read it. He doesn't think it's the same. And maybe, if Jesus 2,000 years ago walks the earth today, he'd be in prison. He'd be a homophobe, racist. He has chosen people, right? Be a homophobe, right? See? He'd be all that stuff. But they claim that's what they're looking for. And that's what they're looking for because he was here to attack them. If he was here to harm you right now, he'd be viciously attacked. See? Oh, you're a dictator. My way, the only way. Right? You're a homophobe. You know, you're racist. Only special people that you see. Do you understand? And you walk around a cross, right? You know, a cross is a sign of death. That's why they put on graveyards. See? And when you are in a belief system or a faith system, you're in a mental death because it requires no thought. By definition, you just believe. You don't know if it's true or not, you just believe. You have faith, you don't know if it's true or not, you just faith. That means you're not thinking. It doesn't require thinking. In fact, faith thinking is discouraged in belief and in faith systems. They don't want you to ask questions. Why do you ask these questions? You don't have any faith anymore? You don't believe anymore? You see? So thinking is discouraged. So that means you walk around with a cross around your neck. What you're saying is, or pinned to your dress or whatever, I'm dead. I'm mentally dead. I'm just a beast. Because that's what separates humanity from beasts, is the ability to think. And so you gave up your ability to think. So that means you're a beast. I mean, I'm not, only people who's going to understand that is people that think. Because people walk around, they don't understand because remember, they didn't think. So you can't have a rational conversation with them. You can't make a rational argument with them. So you don't, because all you do is get hollered at, angry and everything else, because you cannot penetrate their brain because there's nothing there to penetrate. They have to be able to think before you can. That's what he said his prophets and messages were clear, right? See, clear scripture. You understand? Clear arguments. But disbelievers, that fails on them because you have to have something to argue with. You have to have thinkability, and you've already frozen that you've given up. If you walk around a cross around your neck, you said, I don't think. Because if you were thinking, you wouldn't have a cross around your neck. No one that has that cross around their neck thinks. Because they cannot prove any of that garbage they told you. They can't prove any of that stuff exists. It's just a belief in faith, tell you. You gotta have faith, you gotta have belief. If you have to prove it, they cannot. I ran into one clown. I said, well, show me some evidence. I don't need evidence, right? Because if you're not thinking, you don't need evidence. Think about that. So that's what's going on. You got Dr. Shabazz and Dr. Yakub starting out. See? Because Dr. Shabazz is about thinking. See? Dr. Yakub is about belief and faith. And that's the battle. That's the battle. Wills and wills. See? The thinking mind, the mathematical mind against the believing and the faith mind. Who's gonna win that battle? Because you can't build. Do you see anything that's built around here built on faith? Is this computer built on faith? Is software built on faith? Is it built on belief? Right? Is that car you drive is built on faith, built on belief? That TV you're watching, that money you have, is it made based on belief or faith? Is any proof show me anything that's driven or made or created by belief or faith? Show me one thing. Just show me one thing. I'll just shut up. Just show me one thing. Well, we got a soul. Do you have a soul? You know what a soul is? That's another. Soul is just your body. That's your body. Give a living soul becomes your living body. And they take that and make something special that's beyond you that lives in your body. Prove it. Prove it there's some separate soul, you understand, that's separate from who you are, separate from your body, your physical body. That's why your soul is your body. That's the battle. That's why Injil, you have to think. You have to think to get it. It gets that mental brain going, gets you started, the wheels turning again. See? because they're trying to turn you against thinking. That's the only way they can win. They cannot win if you start thinking. They lose. See, if you stop thinking, then you're at the mercy of the beast. Because we control the beast by thought, not by powers. They're more powerful than we are. You want to get in a wrestling match with a lion or a bear? They're more powerful than we are. Physically. You're not thinking though. You need language to think. So that's what we got here. We got a slugging match. And the angels get you to think. That's your doorway into the hereafter. You get the Lamb's book of life. How did the Lamb become the Lamb? He had to think. He had to break the seals. He had to break the seals by bouncing a basketball, or throwing a football, or hitting a golf ball, or scratching his ass. He didn't get that way. He had to think. And so now he's given to you, right? He's like your spotter, help you think, get you started thinking. But that's what it's all about. We ain't here to make you genius because you're already a genius, you just don't know it yet. And if you just started, see, Elijah came, put you in verse, get you in a thinking mode. See, then that's why he said, the one after him, the one after him, the one after him will get you a new way of thinking. So it took Suleiman to come with the angel to get you going into drive. Get you start thinking. Because once you start thinking, you'll be okay. You don't expect your own little angel to get you there. Start thinking. Because when you start thinking, you'll keep going. You'll love it. When you start thinking, you'll love it. You'll want to do more and more of it. And you won't be living in this false world, this false reality. Because everything in life is illusions. Your life is an illusion. How much time do you watch TV? Illusions. Live other people's dreams, other people's fantasies, other people's adventures. Wouldn't you rather be living those adventures yourself? And if you have to be living those adventures, we sit and watch your TV. You be living those lives. The life that you want to live 24/7 instead of watching somebody else. Right? Because they can't give you that reality. They can't give you that, so they give you an illusion. See, they can't give you, they can revive you to go out and do all these different things, have adventures, and and get involved all the time. No, you gotta work for master on plantation. See, you're 9 to 5 in a plantation. See, and you got to do all the things they want you to do. So you got to live like they want you to live. Serve the master. You understand? So they give you an illusion of life. That's an illusion of life. Someone else's life that you watch it. And you spend how much time you doing that? That's not a life you living. And in the process of doing that, you kill yourself and sit back laying down doing nothing and having it. Right? That means your body is deteriorating. Because you didn't do anything laying there dormant, eventually it's going to decay. You don't understand what's going on with you, brothers and sisters. Then you watch the sports. Watch rugby. Do it. Hey, man, look. Why, when you rather be out there doing sports with your friends, your family, your children, and though you're watching this clown doing it, you don't care about you, get the money. So he going to live the life he wants to live. See, you live someone else's fantasy. Then you talk about, I'm a fan. Hey man, you wearing Jordan stuff and all these Tiger stuff. Hey man, look at me, man. Look at you. I'm not looking at you. You know what I'm looking at? I'm looking at Tiger. See? I'm looking at King James. See? I'm looking at Magic. Then I look at you because you ain't nothing. Because you ain't said you ain't nothing. Because you want to look at them. See? Feel like them. Well, who are you? Who are you? They got you in an illusion. They got you learning it. Like they're moving in the Matrix. They was in an illusion, didn't even know it. And then so even they got out, they wanted to go back in. See? And you love your enemies. See? And you down with some this is politics was all against me. Whoa! And you want to get me and tell me that you know it, that you in something, you know something. I got to agree. Just one? Just one? Because 32 degrees, you feel freeze. If you only got more, you gotta have these 32 degrees to get above freeze. That means you still a block of ice. See? Because I got 360 degrees. How about that one? And I didn't get it from Mass either. Because he can't give you 360. He can't give you 32. So tell me you got a degree. Oh, it's a degree out here. It's 1 degree out here. That means you're freezing your ass off. It means your brain's frozen. And you proud of that. Oh, I got a degree. Where you get it from? Master. Wheels and wheels, brothers and sisters. And this process, brothers and sisters, you have no idea. I'm not going to explain it too clearly to you because I want to run the process. See? We're going into a new reality. And we got to make sure we don't have any confusion, any flaws, anything. That's why I was putting in the furnace. So you want to purify gold, you got to put in the furnace. Hot furnace. Silver, you got to put in the furnace. See? And that's part of why that's why we struggle, because the only way you will get out is in the Lamb's Book of Life. See, you have to be perfect. See? Oh, you got another angel? No. You have to be perfect. Perfect what? Perfect for the new reality. Stop being an angel, start thinking. You see? Don't expect you to know it. Expect you to start thinking that process. See? Be able to break away from this. They said, Allah will lift you up your clean earth. Those who keep clean. See? We're going to break the grip. But some of these clean so much, we don't want you. Because you love your enemies that much, we don't want you. Because you love to be in this illusion. And that all you're going to do is cause trouble for us to be back to the throne. That's why it's my job, right? To make sure all the demons, all the riffraff, all the flaws and everything is, nothing gets through. See, I'm the inspector. For I the ones to pull you out. I'm the inspector. See, but he won't pull you out unless I certify you. You better read it. It says, Michael Farad delivered those who was in the book. Whose book? The Lamb's book. You better get it straight, brothers and sisters. So we got the demons, we know we don't want them, they definitely flawed. But we got a lot of us, right? That he's just too hot. His furnace is just too hot. Burn them up. They fall in love with it. We don't want you. Because all you're going to do is be promised hereafter. Hereafter, we never have a police force. What we need a police force for? We ain't going to oppress anybody. The police force was built, the purpose of the police force in Brisbane was for the slaves, to keep slaves under control. See, that's what it was there. See, you only need that when you have a nation within a nation, because you got to keep one nation suppressed. And you don't understand that. They have to keep you under, they have to keep you suppressed. See, the will have to be in the sync. And if you're out of sync, then you causing pressure on them, right? That means they got to take put counter pressure to put you back in sync with them. That means you're out of sync with yourself. If you're in sync with them, you're out of sync with yourself. So that's how you know these so-called brothers and sisters that they are see Abraham, but they right now, they ready. Give me a preparation, man. Give me a Lamborghini. I don't care what happened in the past, man. That's the past. That's the past. So they want, well, let them have preparations. Because they're so away their heritage. It's not going to affect you, brothers and sisters. Let them sow their inheritance. But we don't want them anyway. See, they're flawed. They couldn't get you. See, you're in a race, you're in a marathon, get to 26 miles, you get the last one, and then you fade out 2 yards before you get to the finish line. Well, too bad. You ran all the way, but if you fall out before you get to the finish line, 2 yards, you be 1 foot, 2 inches away from it. You still lost. You got to get across the finish line. And get across the finish line means you get your book of Lamb's Book of Life. How you get your land? Because you got to start thinking. And how you know you're thinking? Because all of a sudden you ain't got that cross on your neck no more. See? And now you know the enemies are. And you ain't kissing, you ain't deceived by lying ass fire time. People like cussing people. That's how we know. So he starts to act like, acting intelligent. Start talking intelligent. Start dressing intelligent. See? Because you're going to act the way you think. He said, as a person thinks, so are they. So we can tell by the way you act. How you thinking? See? So this slug out. This is a knockdown, drag out battle. See? And we're winning. But we're not leaving. We're only leaving, right? But it said it'd be so bad it would deceive even the elect if it was possible. Deceive even the elect if it was possible. I mean, it's really tough. It's really hot furnace. But see, we're going into the here, we're going to do reality. But we don't want people that's going to cause problems. You think mathematically. When somebody comes and say, well, 2 plus 2 is 22, and well, we got to argue with them. No, you only argue with people. See, if you're not past two mathematicians arguing, see, they might disagree on how to come, or which way you come at 10. So one might say, well, I think I want to come at 10, 7 plus 3. I would say, I want to come at 5 plus 5. No, so I want to come at 1 plus 9. Well, that's not argument. That's just a different opinion, a different approach. But somebody comes to, well, 5 plus 8 is 10. Well, that's an argument. See? For them, because if you know how much 10 is, you ain't arguing them. Let's do argument itself. We don't want them. See? We got enough of it over here. That's why you got to argue with these people out here. Argue about Democrat. Why would you have to argue with a black person on a Democratic Party when that's so obvious? See, a thinking person would not go anywhere near that because it's so obvious. See? But just have faith in, see, Christianity. Where'd you get that from? The same people that beat us and tortured us and slaughtered us and raped us, sodomized us and everything for 40 years, and you think they're going to tell you the truth? And if they did, what would you think that the God that they served is worth praying to? I mean, if they represent their God, then they must be representing the devil. Those are Satan ways. That's not a God of righteous ways. A God would act like that, would he? So in other words, whose ways are they following? What did Jesus say? Know a tree by the fruit it bears. I mean, how can it be how can it be more simple than that? So if this is what they do, the actions, you know who they're serving? They're serving Satan. Because Jesus did say Satan was God of this world, this age. So they say, oh, God bless America. What God are they talking about? They're talking about Satan. I mean, whose actions? They can't talk about this. Whose actions are they serving? If those are acts of God, then Satan, what you upset Satan about then? Do they follow Satan's ways or they follow God's ways? Allah's ways, the righteous God. Ask yourself one question. If Satan had came here to America, and Lucifer, and Beelzebub, right, and whatever, monster, and Dracula, and Frankenstein, all of them came together, came over to America instead of Christopher Columbus. What could they have done that Christopher and Columbus and all the Europeans that followed him didn't do? What could they have done they didn't do? That should be an answer right there. That should who come over here. There's evil devils, because that's what they did. Now they don't want you to talk about it, because you can't say that word. You can't call them devils, even though that's what they've been doing. See, now you're the hater. See, you're a hater if you say that. But that's what they did. That's what they're doing. Make commission shed blood and sue you. No, man. And I don't even want to get into them. So let's move on, brothers and sisters. Battle between Dr. Shabazz, Dr. Yakub, the belief matrix against actual facts. Farad came with actual facts. See? So remember, you see this guy walking around with that cross right in there. And it's just you waste time with them. Because the only way you can appeal them is through logic. See? Now, when the fire comes, see, fire moves anybody. It even moves the dead. Right? It moves anybody. See? So they have to move by the fire. But it'll be too late for them. Let's move on. The angel key here. Okay? Angel key. See? So I'm not going to it, but those who familiar with angel, familiar with this key. And when we talk about everything, always have to take and refer back to this key, or you'll understand it. If you can't understand in the light of this key, you don't understand it. So in a few books that you can get information when you don't actually need the key, you really need the key to really understand it thoroughly. The Exodus gives you a very good timeline without the key. So you can't say, well, man, if I do have the key. No, if you follow Exodus, just Exodus, I mean, there's a lot of stuff you need the key for. But on the surface enough, you would never be deceived by Farrakhan under any circumstances. Right? So God came for God. He raised Elijah. Elijah had a spokesman, Farrakhan, who, after 4 years of Elijah, right, he took over about 4 years. He deceived and lied, was a coward. I mean, how can you miss that one? He led people straight around in the wilderness for 7 years, didn't do any damn thing, but called Scientology and all kinds of false religions are carrying on. And then he got all those people to slaughter. And then it was turned over to Joshua, the high priest. He took us to the promised land. I mean, how can you go wrong with that one, brothers and sisters? You go wrong because, wills within wills. I'm going to talk here just a little more right now. Pressure, if you try to go one way, it's not going to, you put pressure on that person to turn. If you take like a gear, you try to turn it a different direction, you got to put pressure on it, right? So wheels, right, when they go in count, when they're in sync, there's no pressure. That's like the Hajj. See, Hajj is harmony. See, but like in a democracy, everybody's going in different directions, right? That's pressure because you got one wheel trying to turn the wheel opposite, trying to turn the wheel against itself. So that means you're putting pressure on it. That's a form of pressure. Well, yeah, or one go in one direction, one direction, because they're in sync. They're in sync. See? A female and a male, they're going two different directions, but they're in sync. You see? So you can't look at this and say, yeah. No, because they're in sync, right? That's where it is. But if you take a person from another, say, another person, okay, say you take a female from this group, and she goes, this group is a counterclockwise group, and this group is a clockwise group. Well, this female, right, will she be counterclockwise, or this female will be clockwise. So it goes into another group, it will put pressure in that group because it's moving in a direction opposite than the males, right? That's not in sync with the males. So she would pressure in that area. So we're putting pressure on America because we're different. See? And they have to pressure us to stop us from thinking. Because we're naturally thinking people. We are the creators. We say be, right? And we bring things into creation, being it is. We gave form to the universe. We gave form to formless energy. See, yeah, lying, stupid, he's trying to wax wise. The boy needs to shut up because he don't know anything about physics, he don't know anything about science. There's only energy. There's only one thing, energy. Matter is just a form of energy. Well, you got matter, you got energy. No, you only have energy. Matter is a form of energy. That's what they call matter, just a form of energy. It's just all, it's all energy. Everything is energy. And it's just mass. Energy is mass time, what they say, mass time acceleration equals force, right? You might even say the energy. Anyway, it's all energy. See? Energy is action. Every action has opposite equal reaction. Energy takes many forms, but it's still just energy. Period. See? So they have to put a lot of pressure on us to keep us. And so, and that's getting too bad. It's hard. So they have to find ways. The, it increases every time one of us is born. We increase the pressure. So they got abortion to make sure that slow that process down. See? Or put you in jail, or put you in prison, or whatever. See, by all kinds of ways to keep you from thinking, to keep our people from growing, because that's put pressure on them. You understand? When you go in it, if you take and you have two wheels and they're in sync, no problem. But if one gets out and slows down, it stops the other one. And if it's going in another direction, it's putting pressure on the other one to force it. That's pressure. Everything is pressure. See, understand that. See, that's not an analogy. That's just the way it is. Okay, we're going to talk about this one. See, remember, Exodus is not chronological order. So they think this plague is the plague, right? No, it's the last plague. This plague is this plague that we're dealing with right now, right? It's coronavirus, right? That's a plague that would kill the elderly. But this last plague is not the same plague. This last plague is a plague of locusts, which will happen when this war starts. You've been in this condition right here when the war starts, right? And I'm not going to a lot of detail, but it says the four winds. See, that's where you see sickle. I changed it, but I hadn't, right? It says the fifth angel fell, but he could not open that abyss until he got the key. He had to be given a key. The key is one of four winds, right? When that four winds blow, he opened up, and that's when locusts come out. And it says they were torment men for 5 months. Now, and it says this plague would cause them to drive us out altogether. So I mentioned it before. What does it mean altogether? It means all black people. So let's do a little analysis here. Just to step outside the angel aside, let's try to do an analysis based on, maybe not stepping totally outside the angel. We're using what angels telling us, right? See, the scenario, try to do analysis and try to understand what's going on. Now, these locusts represent the Christian blacks. So they're going to go crazy. But what's going to have this, what period of time frame are we talking about? We're talking about America's going to be at war. They've just lost the war in the Middle East, and they just got kicked out of there. So we're going to look at the time frame. They just got kicked out of there. America, false Israel, and Britain kicked out. False Israel just took down. They taken out. They no longer exist. And the whole purpose of their existence was to prove that they were the seed of Abraham and not us. So that's out the window. Now the world knows, it's clear that we're the true seed of Abraham. And what does that mean? Ooh, that means that land belongs to us. That means we the gods. We're going to take over. Remember, that's in the conscience of the whole planet now. Because the conscience of the planet is false Israel right now. They got the big, they got the idea, right? They got the whole world. So they see the whole world, right? That means they're impacting the whole world. It says they see the whole world. That means it'd be a worldly impact. And so the whole world is kind of like gyrating around this false Israel. You see? So it's driving most of the politics and everything in the world right now. It's driving American policy almost predominantly over the Middle East against Iran and so forth. So now, that whole thing, see, because it said it would make Jerusalem a troubling stone, right? See, for all the nations. That means it's having a worldly impact. The fact, false Israel, but not false Israel's gone. It's like you got everything setting on, all your furniture, everything setting on one little chair. And then you snatch the chair out. All of it comes tumbling down. So the whole mindset of the world right now is surrounded on this idea that false Israel is the true seed of Abraham. Got the Sunnis onto that one. You got the Christians onto that one. Right? All America means that's affecting America, the foreign policy is based on that idea. And all of a sudden it's gone, snatched away. See? And then the world's looking at us because we fit the suit perfectly. We put the suit on it. Damn it, it's tailor-made. They had the suit on there to make alterations. But these Negroes they put on it fit perfectly. They must be. What's the implication of that? See? Think about that. And America's at war with everybody. And everybody hates America, but it also wants to get at us too. The Sunnis wants to get at us because we openly tell them we got to get that land. Remember the dragon was wrath at the woman? Would to make war with her? Why? Who's the dragon? That's Sunnis. You see, get the idea? They will get you to nip you in the bud because that's where you come in. See? You come and take what they think is their land. Okay? And then, now they're at war. And the Europeans are at war with each other. They're surging against each other. So that means they focus on them. So now you got China and India, they're the world powers now. They're laying back and watch them tear themselves apart. So you got a power shift. That's where the crowns went with them. And what you see here. Think about that. See? So now you see a chance to make their move. But they don't want us to be on top either. So look at the scenario. And they got a 22 million man, they got a 200 million man army. The scripture tells 200 million man army. That's it's over what? Altogether, I think it's 3 billion of them. I think they more half of the population of the whole planet. Between India and China. They're the leopard and Daniel. Yellow with brown spots. 200 million man army. You see? And America's not only at war with Europe, they're at war with them also. So you got the 20 million man army there, and how many people they got in the European armies? And America's at war with all of them. And false Israel's toast gone. And Britain and America's Gog and Magog is at war with the entire world. And I said 200 million man army. Okay, and there's only approximately 250 million people in America. And if you say half of those are elderly, which is even more than that, that will leave you what? 150, 175 million? See? And what say, well, you're going to take they're going to fix it and draft women, especially black women. They set you up on that one. See, Elijah Muhammad fixed it so if you was Nation of Islam, you would have to be drafted. See, that's that whole thing with Ali and everything. See, so use the excuse, but Farrakhan got rid of that. See, he thought he was your friend. See, because he said, well, no, we'll fight for America. America's in trouble. We'll fight for America, even though it says that Elijah Muhammad told you that it'd be fraud, striving these enemies as Americans. We've been fighting against fraud. Boy, he really got you. He really got you, don't he? Those you really got those. I don't want to say that, but he really got something, don't he? So he said 175 million. If you get 175 million, and most of them, right? If you get all the men and women, that means you get all the everybody under 50, right? Being everybody. Be ready for combat, male and female. You think and that means they have to draft. That means you have to draft everybody. So it ain't gonna be, it won't be that many. But just say it was able, they got drafted by. But black folks ain't gonna be drafted. You see what's going on right now. They're rebelling. See? Why? Because the wills, America's going against itself. Remember, will against will? Their minds turn against itself. They got the so-called um, crisis, race Christ theory, race, critical race theory. Well, they tell our children, they tell themselves, they admit they devils, they no good, America's shit, and all that kind of stuff. They teach that. That means their minds see we're running because the wheels are so much pressure. It's forcing their wills against themselves. See, WILL and WHEEL, forcing against itself. So now they talk against themselves. But anyway, so now you got this. Yeah, they ain't gonna want to do it. See, there's gonna be a big fight between them and them Democratic Party. Anyway, you get the scenario. So now, but if they refuse to do it, America can't play games because they need these people to fight. And it tells you scriptures, throw them into, they couldn't have bought you, so throw them into the river. See, you understand, angel means throw them into war. That's it. You can't get them on the board and just throw them into war. Throw them into this war. That's what it means, the river. So they ain't gonna do it. So now you got the government, the military, right? America been the martial law. Remember, they fight the whole world. It's worse than World War I, World War II, Vietnam, Korea, all together. See, America's surrounded. And they have to form a draft, they have to demand. And they don't want to do it. So now they come at you. See? And then you fight. You start tearing the country. Now America's sore within and sore without. It tells you. So now they're fighting. Got external enemies, and then America's been torn apart within. And the Sunnis are running around angry. They're angry at America and angry at us. Because now they see we're going to take our land back. Right? And they also made America because America won't go back and get that land back. Because that was the agreement. They gave cheap oil. That was the agreement. They would take their throne. Now America's not going back. They saw what Fly did with their military and everything over there, their airplanes and their stuff. They saw that. And they ain't going back. They ain't telling the American public what happened. They don't blame it on Russia. But they ain't going back. So now you got Sunnis running around crazy. You understand the scenario? And I'm not going to spend a lot of time with this, but we can go on and on and on about it. So what happens? See, just looking at it from that point of view. So now the locusts are tearing the country apart because they're resisting. They ain't going along with this. See, plus there's going to be hunger. Remember that war. And still, this plague, coronavirus, it's going to get a lot worse than it is now. They always say the new strain just came in America. They said they hope that this the virus, this so-called vaccine will deal with it. See, so in this case, right, the economy is collapsing, right? Food distribution is having a problem. You run to the grocery store, there's no food in there. People hoarding, carrying on. They're trying to force you to go into the military. There's chaos. People come across the border. It's totally chaos in America, inside and out. And now you got the Christian blacks. They're the ones that's going crazy. See, those with Nation of Islam they won't be under Farrakhan's be dispatched by them. See, that Rasulullah has to come back quickly, suddenly, mess with the covenant, clean it up, get them parade ready. But then in the defensive mode. But you have the Christian black that tear the country apart. See? So now the military's got to round them up, trying to round them up. They do like they did the Japanese in World War II, but now they fight, they tear the country up. See more, they ride even more. See? So then that's the government that makes it rounds all up. That's what it says. They drive you out altogether. Because that was their greatest fear. It tells you that we would take and a war would break out and we would take and join with their enemies against them. And that's what they can perceive you doing, because you won't go fight for America. See? At that point in time, you're going to say, well, I'm fighting anyway. So see now, I mean, I stumbled into war, and now you're going to be ones to go fight for them, and because they're going to make demands. You got to do this, you got to do all that. As Christians, like Christians doing during the civil rights movement, everything, it's going to be a mess. So they're going to drive us all out together. That's what it's talking about. I hope you understand. I'm just giving you a scenario, something to think about. See? There you go. We drag you all together, all of you, all blacks. That's what I mean, all together. See? Because there's going to be a civil war in America. Civil war between blacks and whites, with the evangelicals, so-called terrorist Sunnis. See, they talking about all this diversity. No. Scripture says that diversity is going to be anchored around their neck. See, because everybody's going to revert back to their own natures. So the Chinese are going to be sticking up for the Chinese. The Indians are sticking up for the Indians. And they already see China and India going to war with America. So they're going to be supporting their people. So it's the diversity of the going. They said, it's so bad that anyone caught out of a different country, they're going to kill you. Why would they be doing that? Because saying we made the Japanese, because they thought there was a war with Japan, they're afraid Japanese were going to help fight the Japanese. So now they're at war with India and China. Indians, they're going to kill them. Anyone who's left in this country, they're going to kill them. Any Chinese left in this country, they're going to kill them. They're going to try to get rid of us. They're going to try to round us up. And that's why this plague was going for 5 months. See, and this country's going. You think the rise, Rodney King rise and the MLK rise and all that rise, something they ain't nothing compared to what's about to happen here. So what's talking about here? So hope you understand, brothers and sisters. See, the crowns right here show that power shift to China and India, because America and Britain and all Europe is in a mess, all fighting with each other, plus they fight with the Orient. And you already see right now, they already telling you, they're about to go to war with China. North Korea, tell you that. And Iran. I mean, this scenario I've been painting for years, and now you see it very funny. Now, why is this? Why is it getting closer and closer? Why is my world coming into focus? The angel world's coming into focus, and their angel world's coming out of focus. See? So they shut up, they don't say nothing, because they don't know what to say. Confused. But I'm talking. Because every day, the world I be talking about, the angel is coming more and more into focus. Okay, let's move on, brothers and sisters. Okay, we're going to talk about these talents. Let's talk about that. See? And one of the reasons I'm doing this, to get those who are working on angel to understand that you have to take and map things as an angel first, and then you do your analysis. And I'm going to use a particular story about the talents, because it's pretty easy to understand about these talents. See, it says the talents was given to 3 people, and what they did with them, and what the consequence was. So it's pretty straightforward. So that's why I'm gonna use that. But it's also very informative. It's straightforward as far as putting it, building the angel key, but then the analysis is straightforward, and then the consequence, and then you can understand it in the context of what's going on in the world. That's why this is a good puzzle to work with. So here's the talents. See, I marked the talents right there. See, understand? Here's the talents. Right to my talents. Ain't talking about like a talent when you sing or dance. That's what they call certain kind of money talents, right? Okay. Okay, the talents. These 3 individuals, Pharaoh, Elijah, and Farrakhan, we'll see. Those are 3 subjects here. Here's the talents. See, for just like a man about to go on a journey, who calls his own slaves and trusts him his possessions to them. So he gave them something. See? Okay. So one he gave 5 talents. See the one left there? That's fraud. He gave him 5 talents. He has 5 talents. Right? But then he gave another one 2 talents. See? You understand where it goes? See Elijah here, right? He has 2 talents. And he has 2. Right? He has all 5 of them. Because he's the God. Then you have Farrakhan here, see? He only has 1 talent. One to him. Hope you understand that. So that's who he gave it. So that's how he distributed. He gave 1 5, he gave 1 2, and he gave 1 1. Okay? Then he says, okay, he gave the 1 5, and so the 5, he received the 5 talents immediately and went and did business with them, earned 5 more talents. Now when you see this group, that's the first group, right? Second group here is in the resurrection, we delivered, right? This is configuration, right? Now the Shia, because the demons been dispatched. So now the Shias replaces demons, so they're the talents. And then you got the Levites, or the African Muslims, right? They're right under here. They're all 3 talents. So he's got, right? So he took these talents and invested, now he end up with these talents. See? Now for a long time, see, and it explains, I'm not going to read all this here, right? But it explains right here, and he's happy. He says, okay, you took your talents, and you got seeds, and you plant them, you walk around in your pocket. You give seeds, you're supposed to plant them. You don't walk around in your pocket and then you start eating them. That's kind of dumb, ain't it? Some people do it. You got little seeds, pumpkin seeds and stuff, you eat them, right? When you eat them right, if you plant them right, then you grow more pumpkin seeds. But if you eat them, then you got to wait around to mass produce some more, right? Okay, so that's the one he got 5 talents. See, let the angel do the talking, right? Then he's the one he gave 2 talents to. That's Elijah. He's got 2 talents. See? Now he is over here. This is the resurrection, right? Right here, right? He took investor's talent. He got 2 more. You understand the angel? Because that's where it is, when the ark is built up. He's got 2 more. See? Understand that. See, he had 2. Now, after the resurrection, after we return home, this is a configuration. See, now, they had 2 more. And here's Farrakhan. He only had 1 talent. See? But it says, the other one's immediately best there. But he says something special. Say, he received 1 talent and went away. He went away. Let me say, went away anywhere. So right, let's go back and make sure, man. I don't want the same thing out of order here now. See, the same way the one who received the 2 talents earned 2 more. See, the one who had received the 2 talents came and said, see, the one who received the 5 talents immediately went and did business, right? That's when it was 5, right? And the one who received the 2, the same way. He went same thing as the other one, same way. Right? But this one, he did something a little different. So instead of doing that, he received the 1 talent and went away and dug a hole. He didn't go back, went and dug a hole in the ground. See? And here it is talent. There it is. See? Farrakhan. See? This is falling away. He hit this down there. Hit it. Dug a hole and hit it. You see? So, and he had a big old excuse. See? He had a big old excuse. It didn't play. Excuse didn't play. So he called him a worthless, lazy slave. That's what Farrakhan is. He didn't produce anything in 4 years. 4 years, he didn't produce a damn thing. Now he says, well, I ain't about making banks and all that kind of, I'm about transformation. See, I ain't got an excuse. But he claimed he was, for 40 some years, he's supposed to get you across the river. Have you got across the river? Have you got across yet? He been begging for his economic plan. Every one of these so-called saviors, they things. economic plan, but what economic plan? One economic plan I see is the one that build mansions for him, get long cars for him, buy pretty dresses for him. I ain't see him build a damn thing for anybody else. Nothing. Nothing. Because he's lazy. He's worthless. Worthless means you're not worth anything. You're not producing anything. You're not worth anything. America is not worth anything. He hasn't produced anything for black people. Nothing. For himself, he's worthless. And he's lazy. See? He went and buried his. See? So what happened? Therefore, talent was taken from him and given to the one that had 5 talents. See, now here you got fraud, right? He's got the original 5, plus he got the extra one. That's what it's saying, bro. I'm just following the story. So if you think that's not the story, you think that's the answer, then tell us what the answer is. That shows who Farrakhan is. See, he's a liar. He's a thief. He's a coward. Because when he got busted, he didn't take this way. He said, "Oh man, it was my fault." No, it was them. They was wicked. They was, they was sinful, and they wanted to build that calf. They worshipped the calf. I was just, accommodating them. You see, think about it. So that's the story of talents. So he got thrown into the fire along with the rest of his demons. So I think that's it, brothers and sisters. Yeah. So hope that's been informative. But I really want you to really concentrate on how I did this. I didn't go outside. Stay right within the angel. Just think it through. And that's where it fits perfectly. See? I'm not showing the whole key. I'm just showing the part that's necessary to be shown. But initially, I showed the whole key, right? And then I showed the whole key, the talents, right? So for this purpose, I just showed the part that needs to be shown. So the idea is to get you thinking, because once you get in drive, right? See? And you ain't got any obstructions or anything, you don't need to put your foot on the brake, just keep on going faster and faster and faster. See? Because brothers and sisters, you put those stars out there. You gave form to the earth, maker of the earth, and we gave form to earth. Earth has always been here. It's been our womb. It's always been here. It's always been here. We'll always be here. Like we've always been here. Earth is our womb. See? That was the maker of the planet Earth. We didn't create it because it's always been here. We made it. We formed it. See? God of the universe. We gave form to formlessness. Formlessness. See? Earth is our form. That's what it tells you in Genesis. It's our form. We gave form to it because we didn't create to us. So you had Ishmael stumbling over. He's going to give us the concept of God, but he's stumbling over the concept. No, Farad is the God, period. And there's ands and buts about it. The original nation is the originator. That originator being, he's 76 trillion years dead. We are the originator. We've been building everything that's out there. It took 76 trillion years to put it out there. So we haven't been scratching our butt for 76 trillion years. 76 trillion years means there's trillions of stars out there, trillions of planets out there, all habitable, that we put out there. And we wouldn't put them out there if we couldn't get out there. We got out there before. Fry's already built your vehicles for it, right? It would not be a garden as wide as heaven's earth, as the Quran tells you, if we couldn't get out there. in a meaningful period of time. Speed of light is nothing for us. We travel billions of miles per second. Fast as the speed of thought, fast as we want to travel. That's no story altogether. But you're going home, brothers. It's been 50,000 years time to go home now. I know I'm homesick, aren't you? It's time to go home. See? So, right now, I'm expecting when this war happens, that's the bell. You hear a little bell say, hey, the furnace is so hot. That means, okay, now it's time to go check to see if any impurities in there. See? So that war starts, bam, that's the bell. That's the alarm. I go in there, check the gold. See? And how impure it is, right? Okay, I certify it, right? Okay, time to pull it out. So out comes to pull you out. See? But we know silver takes a little longer. So at least silver a little longer. See? Because it takes silver purifies at a higher temperature than gold. Because we can't leave the silver in to the gold purifier because it burned up the silver. I'm being burnt the gold. So pull it out. And then come back and get the silver. Then once that, put the fire out. See, who's the fire? The devils. They're the fire. See, that's why we allow Yaqub do what he does, because he's the fire that's going to purify the gold. It's mathematics, brothers and sisters. I keep telling you, the books are mathematics. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum.